Hi, everyone. This is Norman Kochnick here from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnick. We have a great set of people, co-hosts with me tonight that I'm glad are all back on deck. We still are missing Harry, but I'm sure coming soon. Giuseppe Terranova there on the top right with an orange shirt.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Norm.
We've got Doofus there on the bottom right.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all again.
And last but I guess not least, Babs, blue and black shirt. In fact, he might be wearing a blue and black shirt. Actually.
I am today. And you always leave the best to last, don't you?
Well, we try to. Right on the stage. So now the Rabbitohs got beaten. Yes, I know that.
Terrible.
Big time.
They didn't get beat, they got flogged.
Oh, come on. I got beaten.
No, they lost it in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
5 minutes, in fact. Yeah, that's right.
Well, they lost
12-0. I reckon 12-0. Rabbitohs got half a chance, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12
look, once-
see you later.
Once the send-off, she was all over.
Yeah.
Well, that was too late anyway. All right, well, let's get off. Let's talk about cricket now.
Just quickly, Norm, you've got feedback coming through your side. So do you have something on?
No, I have nothing on.
Yeah, okay.
It could be one of you guys. Just Giuseppe, go on mute.
Hang on a sec.
Giuseppe, go on mute. Giuseppe. Okay, when I'm talking, there goes still there. Okay. All right, so Doofus, go on mute. Okay, when I talk, still there. Babs. Okay, when I talk, it's not there. Correct?
That's correct. So it must be an echo through you, Nick.
Babs.
Me?
So all you need
All
to
right,
do, no, Michael, you could just.
I've got the cricket on. I'll turn it down to 0, see what that does. It's not very loud. You can't even hear it. Let me just see.
That's right.
All it means is that Michael just has to put himself on mute when he's not talking. That's all. So we've got some questions coming through. Yeah. So Babs is you got the all you need to do, Michael. All you need to do is just put yourself on mute when you're not talking. That's all.
That's all good.
Okay. Just the first question is, would you agree about Mark Taylor's statement? Now, Mark Taylor's statement was it's centered on, I believe, the batting. I'm not totally sure whether Mark Taylor was what he was talking about. Does anyone else know?
Well, Sam Hazlitt says that, saying on Fox Cricket that Green must be in the T20 squad.
Oh, that's right. He did say that. Well, quite obviously, they've put him in the squad to play against India. Now he's playing against the West Indies. Well, then why isn't he playing in the World Cup? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, originally, I think there's the 15-man squad from the World Cup plus Green. So, I suppose Finch is under pressure to start performing.
But can they also make any changes to that World Cup
Yes,
squad?
they can. Up until there is a certain date, which is only a couple of days before the World Cup starts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can change your squad regardless of injury or anything like that, which I thought once they announced the squad, they can only change it for injury. But no, that's not the case. They can still make as many changes as they want up until a few days before the World Cup starts, I think.
Is it 15-man squad, right? No more.
Yes.
So he's stupid. Why would you name the side if you can change it? Why wouldn't you wait? At least let people know they're in the squad.
Exactly.
Keep it internal, because now Cam Green's got to be in that side. Who do you drop?
Yeah, but it's also, I think what they do is, I think with everything, all sports, they name their World Cup squads, and they'll have like an extended squad, and then they'll.
So why not name 20? Then you know you're going to cut players.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree.
Now one guy's going to have to go for Cam Green. Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Finch.
Well, Warner, I suppose it depends. If Warner was off injured, so he mightn't come back. as good.
But you'd be crazy if you left Green out. Like you wouldn't be able to.
And it's
Well,
not
let's
just
be-
his batting at the moment; it's also his bowling. His bowling just as good. Like he was just as economical as the other bowlers the other night. So,
And let's be serious. Warner in Australia is different than Warner overseas, mate. Warner kills it in Australia.
Yeah, that's very
Finch is
true.
in trouble.
Well, can they drop the captain? I said they should have, but anyhow.
He shouldn't be.
I think
He shouldn't be captain anyway.
maybe his injury is not yet fully certain whether he's recovered. And if that's the case, Green goes in.
Oh, he has to come. If Green doesn't, Green's the only guy that kept in those 3 games.
Yeah. I got a feeling that Mitch Marsh is not going to be in the squad. Or Stoinis.
Stoinis got to be the obvious one, then you think.
Yeah.
Do you think though?
Oh fuck! Can I tell you? Can we go into the first World Cup game? We Finch because we got some more games, haven't we? T20 games, right?
Yeah, we've got the Windies up here next week.
Yeah. So he had 3 digs. He got 3 peanuts basically. He goes to the West Indies and gets the same scenario. He can't be in that World Cup side. Are we serious?
Wow. Yeah, you think not?
It's
They've
embarrassing.
actually put Matthew Wade as the vice captain.
But it's actually embarrassing that we're 1 for nothing every time he bats.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. But it's also the same with Ashton Agar. He's in the squad, isn't he?
Yes.
Game.
He won't get many. He ain't got a guess. You got a game yet?
No.
Because I've had the I've been not going to work, and I went to work today first time. I was watching half of the games. I watched the T20 game that went 8 overs. That was a debacle. How do you play an 8-over T20 game? What a joke. And then the last T20 game 3, that was an absolute thriller. Australia scored enough. We should have won the game, and then India got it at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
Can't
was
take
good.
it into consideration because didn't hinge on it.
Yeah.
But any form's good form.
Yeah. George, can you read out the Australian squad, please?
The watch, sorry?
The
The
Australian
Australian squad.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring it up. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Do you watch the Champions League cricket?
I'm watching it now. Scotland 11, mate. Some of those like I said to you the week before, mate. We could have played 1,000 games for our country.
Do you see that guy scored 91? He didn't even take one single.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen everything's a 6 or a 4? There's no singles, mate. But some of these shots, you wouldn't see that in Z grade cricket.
What channel are you watching?
It's on Fox.
It's on KO for me.
But it's also
I've
on
got
Fox Sports.
But yeah,
It's on Fox Sports.
Yeah, but you're watching the Prime Minister's 11, did you say?
No, the Champions League cricket.
Oh,
European. All right, you want our squad?
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Batters: Finch, Warner, Smith, Tim David. They got wicket keepers Wade and Inglis, are also batters as well. All rounders: Agar, Marsh, Maxwell, Stoinis, and your bowlers are Cummings, Hazelwood, Kane Richardson, Mitchell Stark, and Adam Zampa. They're the 15.
Well, for me, you would have to drop Agar, and I would then bring in Cam Green, and I would.
Do you need a backup spinner?
Pardon?
Do you need a
Zamba's a
backup
Maxwell, mate.
spinner instead? Like if you bring in a Green, you can drop either Marsh or Stoinis, really,
Yeah.
because you don't need
That's what's
another
going to happen.
all-rounder.
But you've also got Maxwell that can spin.
Yeah, fair
Off.
enough.
So I'll rephrase what I said. take Cameron Green out and Wade, and Australia don't score any runs.
Yeah.
No one else did nothing. Even
No.
that new guy. Who was the new guy that played?
Tim
Nielsen.
Davis.
He's useless.
Didn't he score some runs in the last game? Tim
Yeah, I thought
Davis
he
got
scored
50 odd.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
What's the other guy that we've been talking about? He got in too. Someone else played. Tallish guy. He seems quite tall. He bats. Maybe it's not Tim Davis. Anyhow, there was, from what I saw, like I watched a bit of it. It was Finch and it was Cameron. And Cameron Green can clear the boundary, hit the ball hard too.
Yeah, and he hits it like he reminds me of Maxwell when Maxwell's in form and hits the ball. He hits with this almost like it's flat bat, and it just goes whack.
It's clean hitting.
Because he doesn't follow through. He stops and you just go,
Clean.
wow.
Yeah, he's good.
Do we need Steve Smith in there?
No.
Well, no. You need someone
With a bit of experience.
can just rotate because the problem is sometimes with T20 you could be 3 for 30. So you probably need one person in that side to be a guy that can rotate the strike. Who is that player? I don't know. Is it Steve Smith? Maybe not.
3 down. Smith's one of the 3 that are out lately anyway. Like he hasn't done anything really.
Yeah, well.
I know, but I understand what you're saying. He's got the experience and he can play those shots, but his form of late is one rung above Finch's. You know, he hasn't been doing much at all. If we
see, that's where what's his name, Matt Wade would actually come in. He's actually not too bad at doing that as well as rotating the strike. He can go when he needs to.
Mate, he was hitting 6s and 4s for easy.
Yeah, and he does that. But he's also like he can bat as a a straightforward batsman. He has the technique. So
Okay, look, it's pretty clear that Cam Green and Tim David are going to be somehow in this squad. Okay.
Well, I hope so.
And you would think that we haven't seen Mitch Marsh play any games whatsoever, and certainly Stoinis not of late either. Whether they're injured or what, I don't know. They both are under some sort of question. And
they are back in the squad for the Windies 2 games up at down at Gold Coast and up here in Brisbane as well. So we'll see. I guess they'll be ones that will be playing because they obviously didn't go to India. So you think they'll be getting some game time, and we can see exactly where they're at.
Yeah. If they don't play, they won't be in the squad, right?
You wouldn't think so.
No.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine it.
No way.
But it'll be interesting to see even those other batsmen that went to India. Again, different conditions. I know they're playing down at the Gold Coast, which is not the greatest pitch. But
which ground they playing at?
Metron Stadium.
Oh, the AFL one.
Okay, yeah, and then they're playing up here in the Gabba.
Yeah,
So
we're
there's no
AFL
square.
Gold Coast ground.
Metron, Giuseppe.
So there's no square. There's basically no square, right? Dropping pitch, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a quick. Mark Taylor, Gilchrist, Wall have all suggested Green and Smith.
Yeah, they'll be in the squad. I don't know. I don't think Tim Davies will play. I think Cameron Green would be the first guy you pick in the 11.
I agree with Sam Hazlitt. They can drop Agar and bring Green in for him.
All right, let's digress to the Mancat incident. Okay, now Dipti Sharma last weekend to win the match against England. The English girl was distraught. She was within the rules. She did run out. The girl, not Mancat, in fact, run out, but it was against the spirit of the cricket. Correct?
Or is it? Or is it against the spirit of the game for the batsman to be taking a head start?
She didn't. Did you see what happened?
No, I didn't. I didn't see
it. Go and see it. She was hardly out. If she was going to her bowling normal stride, you wouldn't even know that she was out of her crease. The bowler actually went through, stopped, and then turned around and hit the stumps. Now, You're the non-striker. You were just following through the ball. You're not cheating. She wasn't cheating. The bowler actually stopped, turned around, and went bang. That's the bit. And you see she's out of her crease that far because she stopped.
Yeah.
She didn't stop. She would have been out of her crease slightly. But everyone, that's the norm, mate.
Normal. Okay. Because I know there's, in a lot of T20 games, you see a lot of the batsmen taking off, very quickly so they can come back for the second because they're running at the danger. And I've got no problem with that. But if she's just taking a step forward, we all know the rules. You should have something behind the crease. So,
Yeah, we know the rule that if that had happened, if that had been in reverse, what would be the uproar right now, do you think?
What, if it was England doing it against India, you mean?
Yeah, would have been end of the world. End of the world.
Well, for England it has been, so there's been a lot of what being said. I guess, yeah, if it was the Indians, they would be upset as well. But you got to start realising you got to have something behind the crease. It wouldn't have been a problem for you because you never got out of the crease. Norm never backed up.
I only hit 4s and 6s. Norm only played if I let him play. Giuseppe only had one shot anyhow out of the ground, or that was it.
Would you stop this? You can't talk with any form at the moment at all. So what are you talking?
And then Basara's had fucking the cut shot off leg stump.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm watching it, I'm watching the main card. Yeah.
Did you see her? She wasn't sprinting. She was walking. If you look at the bowler, she stops, and that's where the batsman then starts pushing forward, thinking the ball's gone down the pitch.
Yeah.
She could have. Yeah, okay. It's in the rules. Whatever. It's out.
All right.
To
me, they need to review it in terms of they need to be able. The umpire needs to control it by giving a warning to the batter for leaving the crease, and if the batter then ignores the warning, then the player can do it. That's why
free for all.
Well, see, I thought the rule was that the ball actually had to leave the bowler's bowling hand.
No.
Like when you bowl, that has to, and then you have to take it with the other hand to then break the bails. That's how I thought the rule was originally.
And the question is, how isn't that a dead ball? If she's actually stopped the delivery, she's actually stopped bowling the ball. How is it not a dead ball?
Well, because that's another issue. Has the ball become in play?
Well, it hasn't, because the batsman hasn't had an opportunity to hit the ball.
Yeah,
it hasn't been released.
Yeah,
hasn't been released, mate. So I don't know. It's the problem. The thing is that it's black and white, but it actually is not black and white. And if that's the rule, that's the rule. But do we want that to happen during a game every second ball? We're going to be playing till midnight.
Yeah. Well, it just puts the onus back on the batsman to make sure they've got something behind the crease.
Yeah, but most batsmen don't do that, mate.
All right. So what do you think should happen? What should they do? The rule at the moment is it's a legal dismissal. It's called a run out, not a man kill. So what should happen?
I reckon they need to
run out when the ball's not in play. So how does it become? I know that's what they're calling it, but realistically, the ball, once the keeper takes the ball, it's dead until it's bowled again. So if that ball hasn't been bowled, then it can't be a run.
It's a grey area.
Yeah.
The bowler's coming to bowl, hasn't actually bowled the ball, but run the player out.
Yeah.
So for me, that's great.
When does the ball become in play?
When the ball is released.
Right.
When the ball is released. So then, theoretically, Mankad is an illegal dismissal because you can't bowl the ball and then catch it and bring it back and get him out.
If the ball was released, the ball never left the bowler's hand. She actually hit the stumps with the ball, so the ball never left her hand. How's it illegal delivery? That's the whole thing. If you say to me, the ball's got to leave your hand and you can man-cut him underhand, I would say that's fair and reasonable.
Yeah.
But the ball wasn't actually even left her hand, mate. She went, turned around, put the stumps out.
And broke the bails.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
All right. Okay.
Anyhow,
But still, you're not answering my question. Should they? It's currently illegal delivery. That means illegal.
how is it illegal? What is
Well,
illegal
it is.
delivery?
You're allowed to balk and then go back into the stumps. It's legal. It's called a run out.
So it's a balking. So what? Anyhow,
Mm.
and it's great.
Yeah.
It's too great to me.
So,
Yeah, it's far too great. It's got to be
when
black
does
and
the
white.
ball become in play? That's the problem for that's what they have to say.
So you're telling me that I can come and run down the pitch 35,000 times and do that? We could be playing till midnight, mate.
But it's not even that. Do you give the batsman then the opportunity to run down the pitch and hit the ball out of the bowler's hand?
We would hope that no one would let Michael bowl 35,000 times. Would be quite an ordinary match.
Look, in his current condition, he won by one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even out get my arm at the moment.
Okay. There's a lot of
Anyhow,
discussion about Warren and Finch.
It's interesting. I just don't. I hope the World Cup is not marred by this type of bullshit. Get it done before the World Cup.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, a bit of hurry. Okay. Our Earth is best is saying that Finch should go down the order and bring the order open. What do you think of that?
Piss him off.
If he's not
Too many
open, he
chances.
shouldn't be in the team.
Yeah, I agree. He's either
Right.
opens
He
or he
shouldn't be
doesn't.
open.
Ozzy's
Hey, you know
dead
what?
bowling this week. I don't think Daniel Sams did a good job. Stark's not yet nailed it down. This Hazel. Who's the
Well, he
answer?
didn't play in India.
Mate, and you know what? India batted last, I think, 3 times, mate.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it, India chased 3 times.
No, we chased down the first one, didn't we? Over 200.
We won the first one, right? 2-1.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. The chase inside 1 or 3 games.
Thanks. Yeah.
Maxwell's form.
Nah, mate, he got run out. It was a bad call. I saw him. He
He's
wasn't,
too
out, he
talented.
wasn't out of form.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was a bad run.
Oh, he got gypped.
Yeah, but
big time.
mate, did you see one of the catches he took in the first one?
Yeah.
You've got to give him something. Come on.
He's too valuable.
Yeah, he's far too valuable for our team.
And you know what? You win T20 games by your fielding too, not just by your batting and bowling.
Yeah.
Taking
Well, you
all your
look when in the third game, how many times he saved boundaries out on the boundary.
You should see. Bloody hell, mate. Yeah.
Like he throws himself, catches the ball midair.
Yeah.
You know, no one else does that. I'd like to see Finch do that.
No chance, mate.
No.
All right. So, with this show being the gig, Banter Corner, in the future weeks, we're going to change it somewhat because it's going to be very much on the road because we'll be talking from in Queensland. There'll be 2 games on. All right. So we're going to change the format somewhat because it's now a different focus. It's the World Cup. So, guys, we're going to talk. I'm going to talk to you more about it. But George, you able to go to a game there, the Australian West Indies matches?
That day that they're up here is Melbourne Cup Day, and
No, next week. Then it's next week.
Oh, yeah, not sure. I'll have to
Get him some free tickets then, bro.
I can get you free tickets.
You give me
Yeah.
tickets, I'll go.
All right.
Yeah,
Had to change your tune.
I'll talk to a guy today.
mate.
That's simple. What day is it? What day are they playing up here?
The 6th of October, I thought.
When's that?
Does your missus like cricket, George?
She likes to go to events.
Yeah, well, it is. 2020 is an event. 2020 is actually, it's all over in
Only
3
hours.
hours.
That's
Good day.
very political there, George. She
I know.
likes-
That's a Thursday night. I can't see that being a problem. The 6th.
I mean, it'd be good for you to get a perspective and we can report to you there. So what I'm saying is it may not be Wednesday or we might get you to do a video from there because I'm going to be moving around as well. But I'm just thinking of a different format because I'll be heavily involved with the broadcasting around the country. I want to get you guys involved and not just do it on the Wednesday. We could do it some of the Wednesday. We have to work out what we're going to do because there'll be matches that'll be live Australian time when we're doing this. That's all.
Yeah, because I know that times are 6. Well, you guys have got daylight saving time starting next
This
week or the week after. This
You
weekend.
just want to make sure you get tickets before you leave your home from Norman, and you might
I'm
not get
going to confirm it. Okay, it's not that.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Huh?
Don't go to the SCG.
Don't go to the SCG waiting.
I had a good day at the
That's
SCG.
England's the strangest. England, okay. Subhash Chandra Bharat, we haven't seen him for a while. England has the strongest squad. I think they have too. They put Alex Hales in. They've got Butler in there as well. They've got plenty of side. Bairstow, I think, is still out.
They actually pumped Pakistan. Hey,
Yeah, flogged them.
like there was one score. They must have scored 200. Is it game 2, George? I don't know. 200 plus they scored.
Yeah, they scored 200 plus, and they got them out for next to nothing. Is that right? I think.
Yeah, they got.
All right.
But in saying that, again, they're playing in Pakistan conditions, which are going to be totally different to playing out here. So
No one's
wasted time.
no one's played a game in except for Australia in a couple of weeks. No one's going to get a game in Australia besides Australia and the West Indies, right?
Well, I think Bangladesh. When we're talking to the guy from Bangladesh, they're out here for a couple of weeks. They should probably be out here now, I'd say.
Yeah, but I don't think they're not having a game. They're having a trial.
Well, they'll be playing in either inter-team ones or against Brisbane.
Yeah.
They're playing in New Zealand. Bangladesh, New Zealand, and Pakistan are playing a tournament in the next few weeks in New Zealand.
Then they'll come out to Brisbane and because they're going to be based out at Norths, I think he said. So they'll be playing against the club sides and, trying a few things out and checking out the bounce and that sort of stuff, getting they're ready. Because they're not going to get that bounce in New Zealand either because it's still bloody cold in New Zealand. So they're not going to get that there.
Well, snow.
The SCG 11 are playing Ireland, which is one of the ICC World Cup teams, next week at Coogee Oval.
Did you not get a start?
Who's in the SCG 11 though? Who's in that side?
First grade players from Sydney.
First graders. Okay, so that'll be a decent level for those guys then.
Yeah.
No, it's not your SCG 11.
Yeah, that's going to
It's called the SCG 11.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Imagine if it was Norman's SCG, they would have scored, be chasing 500.
After 10 overs.
We're playing the day after again at a hospital charity match.
Are you?
Yeah. And it's not we're a hospital case.
People in the hospital?
Yeah, in the mental ward.
He's playing the retirees from fucking Randwick retirees or some bullshit.
Coogee Retirement Village.
Yeah.
I don't think
Nursing
so.
home.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that show on the ABC. The old people.
England not chasing. Okay. All right. What else we got? England. Finch, Smith, Maxey, Soiners, all are out of form. Group exit. Looking for. Now he's got a point. I mean, Finch is out of form. Smith is not in great form either.
Maxey's the one you'll keep.
And Mitch Marsh has
Mate, we're not playing on the roads of Calcutta or friggin' Beirut here. We're playing on the bouncy bitch of the Gabba and stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Whose girlfriend's barking?
That's my son, Charlie. He's
No.
upset. Someone's upset him outside.
Oh, is he outside, is he?
Yeah. He sits out there.
Attacks the
Security.
mailman.
But I want to know, is Soiners injured? Is Mitchell Marsh injured? Are they injured? Mitch Marsh hasn't been seen. What is he doing?
That's why they didn't go to India.
He hasn't been seen since Sri Lanka.
Stoinis has got a side strain. And
Right, so he's a big day for the World Cup then.
yeah, and Mitch Marsh has an ankle injury, I think. So that's why they didn't go. And
if you get injured in the World Cup when it starts, can we bring someone in after that or no?
Yes.
I think so. Yes. because all the touring squads have got about an extra 4 to 5 players that are touring with them that aren't
Right.
actually in the squad. That can
So
be.
they won't be in the squad. If someone gets injured, they're allowed to bring players in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't have you can't not have that.
So here's a question: do you have to be injured, or can one of the squad players be dropped for someone else?
No, have to
No.
be in.
Medically injured.
Yeah, medically injured.
Okay.
How you actually
Prove it.
prove that is.
That's what I was going to say to you. I pulled a hamstring. So they go
Yeah.
up to
Or you
how do you
could
pull the
feign an
hamstring?
injury. I mean, Mark, you feigned
Back.
Mate, when you're hitting 4s and 6s, it's a bit hard to feign a calf
But
injury.
hang on, you had an arse muscle pull, hence all the diarrhea you had.
It's a bit hard for me to comment at the moment. Yeah, that's about right.
All right. Okay. Right. Seems like you hate Aussies. No, I was wondering. I'll just not to find some comments here. Warner versus Wood. Warner versus Wood. Mark Wood is back with vengeance, apparently. And even there's another namesake, Luke Wood, who's left arm nemesis. He's pretty fast too. England are definitely in with a great. Okay. Is Dave Warner a certainty to be open to batting for Australia?
Yep.
Yeah.
Has to be. In Australia, has to open the batting.
Yeah.
Who with though?
Cameron
Yeah,
Green. Cameron Green. And there's Finch. See you later.
Yeah.
But Australia don't have the balls to do that, mate.
No.
Well, he's the team captain. You can't drop the team captain.
Mate, so what does his form mean? When do you start saying his last 10 games, he'd be lucky to score 20 runs?
Well, that's the reason he got out of ODIs, because he hasn't made any runs. So
What if, right?
when he's
they just-
playing,
what if Finch plays, but what they do is if they win the toss and bowl first, right? So, for example, Finch will field, organise the field, organise the team, and then when they go to bat, he claims an injury, and then they get a sub batsman come in.
well, you can only do that. You've only got what's going to get concussion every game.
Maybe.
You're right. Hey, that's a wog comment. Seriously. How can you be that corrupt, bro?
We're not going for compo, Giuseppe. This is not compo.
Or they go out and toss. They win the toss, bat first, and so Cam Green will go out and bat, and then when they go to field, they just do a sub.
It's not BBL where you can bring in a sub after 7-8 overs or whatever it is.
Why not?
Hey, you know what's funny? Did I tell you this European League? It's 10 overs, right? I might have said to you after 5 overs, they got a drink break after 5 overs.
That's like that below me.
And some of the guys, I swear to God, they're coming out. You see, if you're watching it, you see some of the beer guts. Some of these, how do they hit the ball and they bowl?
That's
Like,
what
I'm not saying we
telling
weren't
you
like
about the guy that hit all those sixes never scored a single. He was as big as a house.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
go
Like,
to run, we go, no.
the thing is, though, I haven't found
What is
out
it,
how
Harry?
big the ground is.
What's that?
I don't know how big the ground is. Though.
Oh, they're not that big.
Yeah, but they seem to clear it all the time, man.
Yeah, AstroTurf. Always a decent bounce.
George, read that comment.
Well, the Australian conditions suit the Indian team more than any other team. The Australian conditions will suit Australia, no other team. Not going to suit the Indian team. Maybe their quicker bowlers will enjoy it, but their batsmen won't.
I agree.
But having won the Test match in Australia, having had that mental strength now in Australia, is it more to do with that?
Nah.
Well, he's talking about Australian conditions, but
Yeah. Okay.
You're talking 20 overs compared to 5 days. Big difference.
All right. Smith, Maxi, Stein, form. How can you expect the Aussies to come out of the group stage 5-11? Well, we said that last time when they won the World Cup. Didn't we?
Well, but hang on. Smith hasn't played. Did Smith play the T20 games? No.
In
Stoinis
India?
hasn't played.
Yeah, he did,
So-
didn't
He did? Okay. Well,
Not
the only
very
one who hasn't
well.
played there is Stoinis.
he? Stoinis, yeah.
But out of form, like I said, mate, being a fielder and doing his job, not out of form.
What was his bowling like? I can't remember what his
It
figures
wasn't
were.
too bad from memory. It wasn't too bad. You'll have to check
yeah.
it, but it wasn't too bad.
Okay, probably just saying, what will be the likely Australian Indian teams for the T20 World Cup? I can tell you the Indian team, I reckon. The Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma will open and Virat Kohli's number 3. I'd say that Sky Kumar is the number 4, followed by Hardik Pandya. Sorry, followed by Punt. Punt will come back in. Hardik Pandya. They might even keep Dinesh Karthik. Then the bowlers are Bumrah. If Shami's fit, he's back. Chahal. And then the likes of they might include Ashwin as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that'll be about pretty all right. You can see Kohli's starting to get into a little bit of extra form, but again, they've been playing in India, so we really have to wait to see how they, their lead-up matches, because they will play out here. They will play 1 or 2 matches, and getting to see how they adjust to those. It will be the big thing for, especially the Indian batsmen, Pakistan batsmen, Sri Lanka. The Asian batsmen will struggle with the bounce. But in saying that, there won't be that much bounce as what we normally see in the Test matches either, because it's a T20 competition, so they should be nice and flat.
It was
And one
actually
thing you can guarantee is our curators don't dock pitches to suit us.
No.
no. They're
Plus, it
going
will
to
depend on the weather conditions too, especially when they're playing up here in Brisbane. It's going to be. We've had the rain's already started, as you know, Giuseppe. You guys have gone through a bit of rain, so there's going to be a lot of humidity around the place, and it's starting to get that feel. So the balls are going to be moving. So it'll be the batsman who can adjust to that. And I don't think our batsmen, especially Warner and Finch at the moment, can play that swinging ball very well.
Yeah, but you know what? I think we might get some swing, but even then, mate, like I think they're going to be all roads, and
but
I
the
don't
overhead
see a lot.
conditions will give you the swing.
Yeah, if we get those conditions, I think we're going to see a couple of games washed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
yeah.
surprise me at all.
Have they got
Especially-
spare days in case that happens, or is it going to be a debacle of a World Cup when you got 4 or 5 washouts?
I think they'll
Yeah,
only have the
great
same
question.
times, wouldn't they? Maybe. I don't think so.
I think you'll find it'll be more of the games in Brisbane that'll be washed out.
Yeah, but
Well,
normally with Brisbane,
Sydney-
forget if I'm wrong, it will piss down, then it will stop, right, and the humidity will come up.
Yeah. If they, like, a lot of them are being played around that 6 o'clock time slot when you normally get that afternoon storm
Shower,
coming through.
yeah. And then it
So-
stops, right?
Then it'll stop. It'll bucket down for half an hour or so. Then it'll clear up. So, they might have to play, 15 over games or something like that to get them through. Like there are a couple of day games. I know on Melbourne Cup Day there's a double header at the Gabba. The first one's at lunchtime and the last one's at 6 o'clock. So the one at lunchtime you'd think would be fine. It'll be bloody hot, but
Yeah.
it should be okay. But the one later on in the day could, if there's weather around, it'll be affected. You would think more so.
Yeah, most definitely.
I don't want to see shortened T20 games, mate. Like I don't know if you guys that 8 over game that Australia India played, that was debacle, mate.
It was.
I don't understand why they can't just wait for it to go and just play till, I know it's midnight or something. It shouldn't really matter, should it? Like,
No, it was not really. It was not a good game. It was good hitting because every ball was 4 or 6, but it wasn't really a game.
No.
But you hear Finch talking, and he said it's good experience for us to play in shorter versions because we may cop that in the World Cup.
No,
And that's the point.
Yeah,
And,
you will. I
Yeah.
think you will.
Oh, there's
hope
no
not,
doubt
mate.
that you'll get that in the World Cup.
Hmm.
Yeah.
now, Sam Eslett's talking about India able to handle Shamsi's spin, Rabada, Shaheen. Obviously, there's some space. I don't want to include Shamsi there, but anyway.
Do you think anyone's going to open up with spin in Australia or just bowl quicks?
Well, Sri Lanka are probably going to try to bowl spin thriller.
Afghanistan will probably might want to bowl with spin just to give them
Up front?
Up front,
front.
yeah, definitely.
I think it's a good tactic if you get the right conditions.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
we've got.
it can work.
It didn't. Yeah.
Here's the man that's forgotten with Indian cricket, Shardul Thakur, who absolutely killed us in Australia in our conditions as an all-rounder, even though it was more test format. He has played very well in the shorter format and seems to be forgotten. Now, he could come into play. I'm not sure whether he's in the Indian squad or not. I think he might be. And that would be of interest.
Fuck, who did I'm just trying to think. India. There was one or two Indians, mate, that hit the ball a mile as well in the T20 game. Have you got this one of the scores there? One of the guys that
In this recent game,
yeah,
Hardy
That
Pandya
was-
hit runs. Hardy
yeah,
Pandya.
Pungy, but the ball was clear in the boundary by a mile. Like there was some big hitting, even Kohli found some form in the last game. He cleared the boundary a couple of times.
He certainly did. All right.
Well, he's not in that squad, Norm.
Who?
Thakur.
Thakur.
Yeah, that's
And he's not even on their standby players. So you got Sharma, Rahul, Kohli, Yadav, Huda, Pant, Karthik, Pandya, Ashwin, Chahal, Patel, Bumrah, Kumar, Patel, Singh, and their standby players are Mode, Shami, Shreyas, Ravi Bishnor, and Deepak Chahar. So he's not even in their squads.
Well, can I just quickly argue? Is it too limiting to have 15 guys? Why can't they bring more?
Well, it's 15 plus standby players, so they've got another 4. So they've got probably 19, 20 players.
Right, okay. But those standby players are not in the country that be flowing in, correct?
No, they'll be out here, I'd say, getting used to the conditions and
You couldn't
playing.
imagine that they would just be standby and not have them here.
Yeah, they'll be in the nets, net bowlers or net batsmen sort of thing. So they'll be doing something.
Hey, how many games? What is it? Round? They're broken up into a couple of pools, right?
Yes.
And then what happens then? They take their points.
It's a Super 8 or something, Super something that goes on.
So they would take their. So if you got 6 points in the round, you'll take your 6 across to Super 8.
I don't think so. I think it's a clean slate.
Really?
That's
So
what they
like the
used to do.
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be
They
like
used
the
to
Asian
carry
Cup.
points over, but I think they stopped that now.
Oh, that'd be good. So the two guys that killed it in the Asian Cup didn't make the semis because they didn't take their points, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't get the format at all, to be honest with you.
No,
how many
It's just a,
Our Earth is best at saying Cam Green smashed Bumrah. He did. He hit some sixes off the bowling of Bumrah in that recent T20 match. Quite
Yeah.
They were
impressive.
clean. His hitting was so clean.
Yeah, it looked really good. I was really impressed with it.
the top 2 teams from each groups play off in the semi-final. That's it.
So 4 groups.
2 groups.
Oh, top. Okay. How many
There's-
groups? 6.
There's the 2 preliminary groups to get those 2 extra teams to go into the main tournament, like West Indies, Sri Lanka. There's about 6,
Ireland.
8 teams in Ireland, Netherlands, and that sort of stuff.
Namibia.
Those will come in and play into the main group, and then the 2 group winners each will play off in the semi-final.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the semi-finals in Sydney and Melbourne, right?
No, one's in Sydney,
Yeah.
and the other one's in Adelaide.
Because the
And then the
finals
finals in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Finals in
How
Melbourne.
stupid is that, eh? So you're going to play on 3 different decks. You could play on 3 different playing condition decks, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I suppose it's fair. Like, one's coming from Sydney, one's coming from Adelaide, and they're playing on
So-
a neutral.
Another dumbass question. Does Australia get to play in Melbourne as well?
I think so. Norm, don't they?
What's that?
Australia in Melbourne.
Aren't they playing just in Melbourne and
They're
Sydney?
playing games in Melbourne, yes. India are playing Pakistan in Melbourne.
Because it'd be pretty rich, right? If you don't get a round game in Melbourne, but get all the way to the final, and your first game in Melbourne's the final.
That's true. I'm pretty sure Australia play in Melbourne against
India play Pakistan there.
Yeah.
Australia play England.
Yeah, I thought
So you-
Australia played England.
28th of
would think-
October.
So you would think India would probably make the semis. Australia probably, England probably, Pakistan maybe. So maybe those sides who will get a chance to play Melbourne before the final, unless another dark horse comes in there. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I don't know who the dark horse is now, because I don't think Afghanistan's the dark horse anymore. I think they might struggle.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, I guess, is the right attitude.
Yeah, I think England's got a very good chance.
I think
I
so.
think
If you were with
India's
us
gonna
last
have
week, you would have heard me. I'm going for England.
Are you?
Right,
Yep.
England now. You're Afghanistan. Hang on.
That's my dark horse. They're still my outsider. So I have to, 100 to 1 shot. But I think England have got a really good squad, and they will win.
So England and then outside Afghanistan, right? Is
Yep.
that what you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you might be all right.
All right.
I'm just going
Many
to
people make this comment. They can't wait to watch India versus Pakistan. It's going to be a real grudge match.
I reckon it's going to be a fantastic. I reckon every World Cup should have India and Pakistan as one of the games.
I think so too.
They'll have a
I
decent
think it's
crowd.
fantastic. It's great for cricket, mate.
Yeah.
Well, there was some talk that England were going to host an India versus Pakistan match to provide a neutral ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That England are trying to negotiate that.
Hmm.
Sam, his Pakistan win it single-handedly. What else we got?
No.
A lot of repeat.
Yeah,
We're
I
just saying the
agree.
young guy up in Queensland, up in Northern Territory, wherever he is. He wants to get rid of Saunderson or Marsh and to play green.
Yeah, you're right. He's right. He's right.
The only problem is that with Marsh has got a very good T20 reputation. He
Well, we
you know,
won't
he's-
know what his form's like until he starts playing again.
no, and that's true.
So see how he goes against the Windies in the next week.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a fair question. Roger Mitch was asking one of the pitch conditions. The pitches are going to be pretty bouncy, pretty true, pretty even. There'll be ability to hit the ball, it'll come true onto the bat.
Hey,
Maybe
look,
Melbourne will be a little bit iffy.
look, we
Yeah,
can't
what was-
comment on it. We can't comment because this is insider information. Okay, there can be no comments on the pitch conditions.
But it's going to be interesting. The drop-in pitchers haven't had a lot of time, especially in Melbourne,
Yeah.
to have a decent time in there to get. I know they've been out wherever they put them and they're getting sun on them, but what happens when it gets into the MCG? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They win. What do you say? Does that mean they only give out 15 minutes to the play?
Well,
Yeah,
that's their
must be.
score.
Okay.
Yeah, they must do.
Mike got a lot of comments. MC will need extra security if there's any other Pakistan. I don't think so. Not in Australia.
No, not in Australia. Well, there only takes one idiot.
I hope that nothing like that happens in Australia. Just play cricket, have fun.
Exactly.
It's,
I like Brisbane Saints versus who you see we ever fight with in the games? Cooper. Yeah.
Oh, remember that bald guy? What was his name? Remember him?
What was it, Rod? Or
Yeah, that's it. Remember he came to
Rod.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, he came to Sri Lanka with us.
Yeah.
What, the guy that threw the bat at us?
Yeah, me and Harry. That was after we scored all those millions of runs. He came to Sri Lanka with us, mate, and we used to give it to him on the bus.
He used to say, "Hey, Rod, what's it like to field all day?"
That's right. I remember that. That was fun.
Oh, that was so fun. Hey, but you know what? He took it on the chin. He was a good sport.
It was. You know what? You know what's good about those things? You actually get to know people outside of, like, we all know us guys because we spent time together outside of cricket. The team you play against, you don't spend that time. You get to know people outside, and some people aren't that bad. They're arseholes on the field. They come across, but off the field, he's not too bad. All right, he's not my.
Oh, he's very intense.
Yeah, he's not my.
Some people get white line fever. As soon as they cross that line, it's like they're totally different.
But
they're
when you can't play and you got white line fever, even worse.
Hang on.
But we shut him up.
Arun
but he's a good bloke.
dark horse.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Arun. I think he got no hope of Sri Lanka being a dark horse.
No, I don't think Sri Lanka.
Let's assume that the Green's going to be selected.
I reckon. Imagine Green and Warner. If Warner can, that's a fiery opening partnership in Australia.
Yeah, left and right hand.
Yeah. How would they? My only issue is how did Green go with the spinners? Obviously, he made runs.
He never got a chance, mate, because from what I can imagine, spinners don't bowl in the first 4 overs. Like,
did they? But in India, did he bat against? Because I didn't see
but
him.
he has no drama hitting spin. I never saw.
No,
it was a big issue
because he's so tall. He can get his foot out there, and he
comes down the pitch and hits a ball straight well for a big bloke.
Very well.
Remember Tom Moody?
Yeah,
hits a ball
that's
like
who he reminds me of.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who it is.
Most big men look unco to a certain degree, and he does a little bit too. But he hits the ball clean.
Yeah.
And it's with no follow through.
No, it's all power. Look at he's a big man. Looks like
he's a big man. Yeah, that's right.
Imagine what he was like at school. He must have been pretty crazy because he's matured so quickly and so early.
He'll be the next Australian captain.
That's why he should be the next. He should be our next one day and T20 captain. Groom him to get the Test match.
Yeah, get through the World Cup and then be the captain if you need to be after that with some senior guys around you.
Yeah, that's it. Why like we're not playing a lot of one day cricket anyway, so make him the captain. He only captains a side 3 or 4 times a year.
Look at his strike rate against spin. 150.
Yeah, 150.
That's pretty good.
There's probably about 200 against the bloody.
But his overall strike rate is 250.
Yeah, I know. But when you're an opening batsman, you're going to face more pace than spin, right?
Normally, yeah.
So you would think he'd hit the ball better with pace, but 150 is not bad.
Still good.
Yeah, it's still very good. All right, okay. Tonight's match, India versus South Africa. We haven't talked about South Africa at all, quite frankly.
What time's that on? Is that a night game?
Yeah, it starts 11:30 p.m. our time.
Okay. South
India
Africa,
playing
they're
3
batting.
matches in India.
They're batting up and down. Their batting, for me, is too much up and down. Their bowling's not too bad, but their batting can be good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
India should finish them off 3-0, you'd think.
Who do you reckon was the coach of the year in rugby league? They're about to announce them. Craig Fitzgibbon.
Coach of the year.
Yeah, coach of the year.
Des Hasler, mate. Des Hasler.
I was going to say Peyton.
Oh, hey guys.
Todd Payton.
Something serious. Talk about coaching. One of our girls, our women, on Sunday was in a car accident and died.
Really?
Your rugby
on the freeway. On the freeway here at Sunday, 6 o'clock. Amy said, "Oh," she goes, "Oh, next day I told her." She goes, "Oh, I heard the ambulances and the helicopter." And one of the girls, hit the tree on the way home or going to work. Only 22.
It's sad.
So you hit a tree fatigue, don't you?
Anyhow, life shook me.
Yeah. Well,
what happened to Andrew Simons? He
What's
hit a
that?
tree as well.
Yeah.
Nah, he just rolled.
Didn't he go into a tree though as well? He rolled it, but yeah, again, tiredness.
What about
We don't know. There's no discussion about blood alcohol levels. Was there?
No.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think there should be. Like, because he's a famous person, I don't think we need to know.
No, I think
why
you
or
got to.
how.
I actually agree with you. You need to keep that away, even with Shane Warne.
Yeah,
But I have heard, like I told us, I met a doctor in Sydney who was affiliated with a guy in Melbourne who treated him. He was given advice not to travel because he needed to have an operation urgently, and he was a flight risk to travel with the heart problem that he had. It was a fixable heart problem. It wasn't something that would kill him, but because he didn't act on it, it killed him.
So really, he could have been here.
It could have been saved. He's the heart operation he had. He was meant to have it. He said, "No, I don't want to know about it." He was warned not to fly to Thailand. He was warned not to travel because his condition warranted an operation immediately, and he refused and still travelled and died. So
why would you do that to
too
yourself?
proud or too macho to think that he needed an operation? Who knows?
Yeah, but the doctor's not, heart specialist not going to tell you need one for the sake of you don't need one.
No, exactly.
It's not like it's your left finger or something. Oh, you cut it off. It's your heart, mate.
Sad, isn't it? Like to think like that.
But he didn't listen to us.
And then he finally went. Like the doctor said, you're going to go, and he did.
Yep.
Sometimes I get it right, these doctors.
Mate, 9.9% of the time they get it right. There's always a 0.1, but that's.
I've not had a bad experience. I can tell you that much.
Especially, yeah.
Okay, so just quickly on the captaincy debate, Devon Casciolaccio Dunstan, you run here saying that Max was going to be the captain. So who was going to be the captain post Aaron Finn in ODI first?
Cameron Green.
Cameron Green's
got to be, if we're serious, he's got to be groomed as a captain.
Yeah, that's right. He's starting in the ODIs because he's going to be the next Test captain. I might as well let him cut his teeth on T20s and ODIs.
And that's where you should start your captaincy role. If you're good at cricket, you should be starting the smaller format and get the Test captaincy role after that.
Yeah. Plus, he should be the next Western Australian captain as well.
Hasn't he captained his state yet?
I don't think so.
He's that young, he hasn't even played for his state yet.
Yes, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if he hasn't captained it. Like you would have thought he would have captained something along the way.
But you look at our history. All our captains, or all our Test captains, started in the one-day format as captains, and then
but even some of our captains, like you're right, didn't even captain their state. Because I'm thinking about Ricky Ponting. I'm sure he might have captained Australia before he captained Tasmania, or not, because he was in the side so young.
I think he was.
Because he was in the side.
Maybe did Steve Waugh captain New South Wales? Because he would have had a fair few guys in front of him there.
I think so. Sebo had a life of being he's junior.
Oh, well, see, it would have been Mark Taylor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he probably wouldn't have captain unless Mark Taylor was in the national side and he wasn't.
Yeah, I guess maybe when he first started. But then there would have been
I'm sure that was somebody else. I'm pretty sure it was somebody else. Because he
Yeah,
was
what
very
was
Look at Jason Sanger. He's been captain of a number of the formats already. He's now the designated vice captain of New South Wales. I like that.
See, I don't know. Do you actually rate Sanger? Every time I see him on TV and Sanger's got to win a game for us, he doesn't seem to do it. I don't know. Is that just, or he's a
Oh,
good
no,
player?
he's done a lot of good things.
Yeah, maybe I don't see it when
Mm.
I turn the TV on.
Yeah, maybe you don't.
Well, if Aaron Finch is not available or injured or something, the captain's going to be Matthew Wade for this World Cup.
If is Wade the vice captain,
Yes.
Wade's got to be the captain, and Maxwell's got to be the vice captain.
I'd love to see that.
If they're serious,
I reckon Maxwell would play. He would play out of his skin if he was given the role as captain. I really think he's the perfect captain. He's our Ben Stokes.
he's X Factor.
Yeah, very much so. I really like Maxwell. For me, he's our
You know what? You know why he's disappointing? Because we expect him to do everything all the time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And when he doesn't, he didn't score runs. But you forget, hang on. Because he fields, he bats, and he bowls. So he does all three things.
Yeah.
No one, you don't. So how many players in the side do all three things? Not many.
No. Well, not
He
now
fails
anyway.
at one, and everyone goes, "Oh, he should be out of the side."
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Anyway.
So, all right, guys. So next week we're going to be talking from a World Cup perspective here in Australia. These last three matches in anyone one's not against South Africa, a couple more. Then the rest are going to be all in Australia or in New Zealand. They'll be all down here. All the teams will be here as of basically this weekend.
So we're saying Australia and West Indies, couple of games. South Africa and India, a couple of games.
Yeah.
Who else is playing? Anything else?
Well, there's a three-way tournament between New Zealand, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. Oh no, New Zealand, Bangladesh, and there's the third side. I can't remember who the third side is now. Might be Sri Lanka. I'm not sure. I'll check on that. It's been played in New Zealand. New Zealand, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. New Zealand, Bangladesh, and Pakistan are playing.
Okay, so that means Afghanistan. What are they doing? Nothing. Coming just for some
They're
hits.
coming here. They're coming to Queensland. I believe.
They'll be in
Yeah,
Brisbane.
Well, what did Moses say? They're going to be based in Perth?
Yeah.
No, Brisbane at North.
Brisbane.
Oh no, India's based in Perth.
Are they?
Yeah, and they're going to be based in Perth next week.
Why are they based in Perth for? Conditions?
I don't know, they just
Bounce?
decided to make that their base.
Well, it's probably furthest away from their supporters for now. Worry about practice, and then when the T20
Might be something
comes,
to do with
bring
that.
them across.
Might be something to do with that.
Hmm.
All right, so So, are you happy to do a different night or different time?
Long as we get some warning, that was all.
Yeah,
Doesn't need to
I'll
be hours, but-
organise a place for us, and you'll get involved. I'll get tickets for people up there in Queensland, and then we'll try and work out something we can all get together.
Right. Not tickets game day. He wants it a couple of days in advance in his hand.
I'm going to ring up Raghav now. The guy Raghav is from the Fanatics, who runs the ICC ticketing.
Okay. George, when you get it, let me know, will you?
Actually, George, take a photo of it. Post it.
I'll message it to you as well.
So obviously, as of Sunday, we go daylight savings. So, how do you want to go forward?
There's always
We'll work
one
it out.
smart
We'll
guy
work
in
it
the
out.
crew.
Doesn't
Always
bother
one
me.
smart person.
Well, what's that make is an hour ahead of me, so it'll be 7 o'clock here.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We're always in front of you, blokes.
Ahead.
You're always backwards. You
Why
can't
don't
miss the
you?
cow
Why
with
don't you
some
get
bullshit.
daylight savings up there? Why? It's just madness.
Man, they
Mate,
can't.
To be honest, I always liked daylight saving, but when I think about it now, I'm up early to walk my dog at 5 o'clock, 4:45. If they had a daylight saving, it's going to be still dark. So I'm happy that it's not on. I get my extra hour in the morning. It's nice and cool.
You
Walk
don't
the
get
dog, beautiful.
You don't get an extra hour. You just don't get light, or you get light break. It's no extra hour. The clock moves.
That's it. Instead of that hour, that daylight hour being at the end of the day, it's at the start of the day.
Hey, George, can I just say this? When I'm going home at 4 o'clock, it's only your 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but when you're at work at 8 o'clock, I'm still in bed.
By the way, the Daily M medal has actually been held at Randwick Racecourse, and I might go over to it. We'll come over the road.
Don't be interested. South won't
Right.
win anything.
So it looks like India are playing some intra-squad matches. Then they're playing 2 warm-up games against Australia and New Zealand. Then they'll be in Australia 20 days prior to the first match. So
That's a good warm up.
Australia.
That's a good one, India.
Yep.
Depends on where they're playing the games. They're probably not playing them at the WACA or anything. They're probably in suburban grounds or something.
But-
So
I don't think it really matters. As long as they're playing some in Australian stuff, I reckon that will be all right, I think. Better than
as long as the conditions are similar.
It's funny how India and us can get games and so can Australia, but why couldn't Afghanistan get a game?
And they are.
They may not have been looking for a game either.
Depends on where the other teams are playing, and because there's still the other West Indies and all those guys start. When's it actually start? Early next month, doesn't it?
16th.
Yeah. So they've got.
What are they
that
doing?
early-
They qualify still?
They're still going to qualify.
How stupid is that, though? How can you organise? You want to go and watch a game of cricket? You don't even know if your national side's going to be in Australia. Like, how do you plan yourself?
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Should have
not
been
good.
done months ago.
Yeah, they should have known at least 4 months prior to the tournament
Because
starting.
If my nation's not here and I want to come to Australia for the World Cup, if I haven't done it now, I'm not coming.
Yeah,
You're not coming, mate. Simple. How do you plan to leave?
and why would you send 3 or 4 cricketing nations to go and play these qualifying, and then you don't qualify, you go home, and you qualify, you stay? Like, the whole process doesn't make any sense to me at all. They're better off playing it prior to long before, so they can prepare. Because how do you, as a country, then prepare your accommodation, all your training venues?
You can't. Where are you going to stay? What, you think they're going to make up a bloody somewhere in Sydney a hotel because the West Indies are coming?
Well, they know that there's going to be 2 teams there, so the accommodation will be booked as a block.
Yeah, I know,
so it's not going to be the accommodation's not going to be an issue.
But like you said, India's in Perth because they want to be in Perth. The other guys might not get a choice. You got to be.
No, that's right, because they won't know whether they come first or second, or which group they're going to be in, and where they will be playing. So it does make it a bit harder for them. The only good thing for them is that they've been playing proper games to try and get through to that. So they're going to be a bit more match hardened.
If you can for 2020, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, people are still making comments about why would Aussie schedule 3 T20 versus England just before the World Cup? You're in England in the same group as the Aussies. Hope huge advantage to England, surely. Well, it might be. They probably didn't know that.
Hey, guys, I think we all know that if you play one game at T20 or you play 100 games at T20, I don't think formal prediction means it doesn't mean nothing in T20. It probably means a lot in ODIs and tests, but not in T20.
It's all on the day.
Yeah, it's a date. So short format.
You can't, You're either you're seeing them well and you hit it straight to a fieldsman, or it goes over for 6. Like,
That's
you know,
right.
there's-
Go
you're
again.
you're looking at margins this small in test matches. You're not taking those risks because you don't need those rewards, risk reward
That's right.
things. So,
That's right. Because who was it? Cam Green's score, his stroke shot, like his scoring shots, like were massive. And then I think he had, I don't know, the amount of dot balls, and all the dot balls he had, they were all swing and misses, like him going to clear the fence. So if he had gotten an edge to any one of those, or like he was done.
Yeah.
And it
But
could have
even
been
that, mate, you get an edge in T20, it goes over the slips of 4 anyhow.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And some
Like
ground 6.
6, yeah.
So yeah. It is. Like you said, George, it's a game of fine margins.
yeah.
Well, all you're basically saying anyone can win effectively, can't you?
I think Australia was true. The last World Cup, we weren't the favourites, and we won it.
We won't.
That's
Yeah.
a prime example.
Yeah, anything's possible. We'll wait and see. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Go the Poms.
Nah.
Simon says 2 wins.
Go the Cats.
Okay,
Hmm.
one
Panthers.
more time. Resounding. Australia, England, India, Pakistan is my third. Giuseppe.
Oh, yeah, I say Australia. Yeah, I go England. I have to say it'll be either Pakistan or India or my dark horse Sri Lanka.
That's a big dark horse, bro.
Mate, they're not even in the main top yet.
Yeah, give them a chance. They're Asian champions, mate.
Nah. Oh, yeah, that's like saying I'm European champions, bro. No.
Can't make the World Cup. Can't even
I
get the
look,
World.
I look well. Mate, we topped our group, mate.
Yeah, well, all the rest of them are playing in November.
Oh yeah. Did you see England's team?
They're still playing in November, aren't they?
And they're going to go home early.
Still there.
They'll go.
Yeah,
home.
but what's the point? What's the
Mate,
point
you
to go
guys are
home
watching
early?
just like all the rest us Greeks, mate. We're just watching.
Hey, look, we're
Look at
becoming
this.
good watchers.
Even Greece top their group.
Final four.
Yeah,
England, New
in
Zealand,
Group D.
India, and South Africa. No Australia.
Well, it's,
My top 4: Australia, England, New Zealand, India.
yeah, I'll probably agree with that.
That's a good top 4.
And it'll be an England India final.
There you go. I've got a feeling Australia's not going to make it either. I think they won it last year. It might be there.
That was
Definitely.
it.
All right. Then you wanted to go, Michael, at a certain time. We're well under that.
Yep.
So thanks, guys, for joining me again. You've been fantastic on episode 22. We're going to change the format over the next few weeks for the World Cup. We'll work out a format that works best. You'll join a group. You'll be in with some Indian press that'll be here. And when you're in different locations, we'll get you all together. And we just don't know. I'm hoping we can get together. I'm going to try and get to Brisbane. We'll see how we go. All right. The tickets are my priority. I'll let you know in the next few days what I'm
Yeah, no worries, mate.
even if I have to buy them myself.
That's bullshit, mate.
No, I'm just saying that's an absolute backup, but I don't think it's going to work.
No. See what happens.
All right, guys. I hope you feel better, Michael.
Yeah, Michael, take it easy.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
I hope you look after yourself, mate.
All right. All the best, guys.
All right, boys.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for
Ciao.
watching.
See you soon.
Ciao.